It's October, which means that NEM-ID goes away at the end of the month, Espresso House has brought back the pumpkin spice latte, and it also means that temperatures are starting to drop around Denmark. We're entering what we like to call the heating season. We're going to turn the heat on. But should we? Can we do it everywhere? Will I be able to all winter? And how much more will my heating bills cost this year compared to last year? We all have questions and no real clear answers, but I wanted to make a video this week to get an idea of what we should expect this winter based on the information that's out there. Now, some media outlets are reporting about Europe's cold, dark winter in almost a sensationalized way, but there's also some really good reporting, tips, and preemptive government responses that we can talk about. For background, the idea of Europe having a cold, dark winter is basically subtext for extremely high heating bills and potential blackouts as a result of disruptions in the supply of oil and natural gas. Supply chain has been a mess since 2020, but the Russian invasion of Ukraine in early 2022 has added a new layer of complexity. That's because of the resulting EU sanctions against Russia, most specifically around the sale of oil and gas, and Putin's response of cutting back the flow of gas to Europe. As Ursula von der Leyen, president of the European Commission, tweeted, Putin is using energy as a weapon by cutting supply and manipulating our energy markets. Even countries that don't import gas from Russia are suffering because in their utility bills, the price of the electricity is closely tied to the price of natural gas. That benchmark price for natural gas has been volatile since the invasion of Ukraine and is currently sitting around 4 times what it was a year ago. Now, efforts have been made to stockpile fuel and cut back on energy consumption, but it's still estimated that European households will face an average electric bill of €500 this winter, or 3,700 Danish krona per month, triple the winter utility payments of a year ago. This is because Russia is now sending about 1/5 the normal levels of natural gas to Europe and the mysterious leaks from the Baltic Sea Nord Stream pipeline. On the 26th of September, an explosion was detected and gas began bubbling up out of the waters of the pipeline off of Bornholm. In response, markets jumped 5 to 10%. Now, you can drop your favorite conspiracy theories about the leaks in the comments below. Just kidding, please don't do that. But what we do need to discuss is what will Denmark do now?
At this point, Denmark's elderly, low-income households and some students will receive heating subsidies. They started with about 400,000 households receiving a 6,000 krona subsidy. There has also been a massive energy tax cut, bringing down the tax rate to the EU minimum for the first half of 2023. And there's delayed payment schemes established for the portion of bills over their 2021 rates. Conservation efforts are being taken all over Danish society as well. Public buildings are going to be heated to a lower temperature this year, 19 degrees Celsius instead of the usual 21, or 66 Fahrenheit instead of 70. Schools are also encouraging kids to bring extra layers of clothing. The shopping streets are limiting their Christmas lights, and for example in Copenhagen they'll be turned on 2 weeks later than normal with the beginning of the Advent weekend, and they'll only be lit between 3 and 9 p.m. Many municipalities in Denmark are also reducing street lighting in general, and several have canceled winter ice skating rinks. The city of Aarhus is turning off the Your Rainbow Panorama art exhibition at night, and all around Denmark steps are being taken to prepare for the worst. Denmark has also delayed plans to decommission 3 power plants, 1 on Sjælland and 2 on Jylland. In a statement on the power plants, the Environmental, Energy and Critical Supplies Minister Dan Jørgensen said, "We are unfortunately in a situation where a cold winter can affect Danish electricity security. We will do everything that we can to avoid Danes having no electricity in their sockets and to make ourselves independent of Putin's gas, and we are therefore delaying the closure of 3 power plants." All 3 of these plants are owned and operated by Ørsted, Denmark's largest power company. In an interview with DR, Ørsted CEO Mads Nipper said that it's in our view that we as a society should phase out the use of gas, oil and coal as soon as possible. But we're in the middle of an energy crisis in Europe, and we will naturally help to secure energy supplies as well as we can. According to the Energy Ministry, the operation of the plants is set to run through the summer of 2024 and so will not impede in Denmark's 2025 and 2030 climate targets or the green conversion of Denmark's energy sector.
So much is being done to ease the economic burden and while keeping electricity in the sockets and heat in every Danish home this winter. Still, if things get really bad, Denmark has plans to roll out short, localized power outages. Now, the risk is low, but authorities are bracing for every possibility. If the energy system is stressed, it will be due to prolonged periods of severely cold weather coupled with low winds, which would affect Denmark's wind power output. Now, while it's unlikely, if a situation where energy demand exceeds supply does occur, authorities will be able to track developments at least 1 day in advance. This offers a little bit of time to ask large industrial users to limit their energy use. If the system is still stressed, there could be localized blackouts of 2 hours in length, and they would impact small specific groups of customers across Denmark. If it were to happen multiple times, blackouts would be planned for new customers so that the situation is not repeated in the same homes throughout winter. Individuals can also help by delaying the heating season if possible and taking out an extra pair of socks and some blankets throughout the winter season. You can also move furniture away from your radiators and keep them all on low. And of course, turn them down or off when you leave the house. We'll post a list of winter heating and conservation tips in the description of this video. Now, it's in Danish, but it can easily be translated online. And if you want to know more tips from us on how to survive winter in Denmark, with a smile on your face, of course, you have to watch this video right here. So throw on a blanket, an extra pair of socks, get cozy, and check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Hi, hi.